All right, with that out of the way, introductions, Q&A, we are now into the news section. But first, as always, our sponsor. This week's sponsor is, well, nobody. We actually don't have any sponsors. But if you would like to be a sponsor, please reach out, Rip McAfee at fulldivepodcast.com. It's in the show notes. It's in everywhere. There's a description. Check it out. Reach out, and you can be a sponsor for this podcast. All right, now for the news.
So, HTC's former CEO is developing a new 5G headset. We grabbed this information from The Verge if you want to check it out for yourself. Basically, XRSpace, it's a company that is led by the former HTC head, Peter Chow, plans to launch a new virtual reality headset later this year. It's dubbed the MOVA, M-O-V-A, terrible name in my opinion, but anyways, it's supposed to ship in the third quarter of 2020 for $599, basically $600. Its selling points are 5G support, a hand tracking interface, and an expansive virtual world called Manova, so basically a whole nother VR ecosystem. It's a fully self-contained headset that's powered by a Snapdragon 845 processor. So for those of you out there to kind of relate, this is a lot like an Oculus Quest. It's got a slightly faster processor. It looks like it only has 2 cameras on the front, but the really weird thing about this, it does not have controllers at all. This thing is going to fully rely on hand tracking. So, yeah. Destiny, you're the one here who uses the Quest the most. How does this information hit you when you hear it?
Well, especially that last piece, like I would love to see how that's going to work out. I can't imagine any system right now completely relying on hand tracking. I know, the hand tracking with the Quest at least has made quite a bit of improvement since the first day it came out, but it's still so buggy. Like, or to at least to not be able to have the option to use controllers, like that's pretty far fetched.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel the same. And I believe we talked about this a little last week. But the idea of no controller movement, especially, or no controller anything, especially for
Yeah,
games, is just kind of. I don't know if it's practical right now. They better have some really good ideas on how you interact with the game world if you're not using controllers for anything.
exactly.
Even just moving around, what are you going to do? Are you just going to like grab the air and move yourself
Right.
forward? Or, I mean, there's just so many buttons and controls and different inputs that you can do right now that feels like would be really hard with no controllers.
Oh yeah,
with
well,
just
and you
hand
even
tracking.
have some games. The developers have already said that they won't do hand tracking. Like I believe Pavlov is one of them. I think it's always going to involve a controller.
Yeah,
Right.
I don't blame them.
Yeah,
And also the price, $600. That's steep for something that doesn't have controllers and is
yeah.
only hand tracking.
I think it's
And
the 5G support as part of that, and the
yeah,
Snapdragon, slightly more expensive, is pushing that up too. But yeah, I'm with you. That's a lot for a standalone headset right now.
right. Yeah, I would personally, if this was out right now, and even if it like had flawless hand tracking, I think I'd pick up an Oculus Quest over this. It's cheaper. You get controllers. It's got better support. Uh, I don't know. I hope
Yeah.
they have success. I suppose success in the VR industry is important right now, but I can't say I'm interested.
I actually have some hopes for this. The important thing is that it's 5G. And what I think they're going with it is that with the 5G, theoretically, you might be able to have PC based VR games without any sort of cables in a standalone unit.
Mhm.
And that might be really interesting. Sort of like how Google has their gaming streaming service where you can run any game on just an absolute potato of a machine.
Hmm.
They might be trying to move towards something like that where you can stream really high quality, high fidelity games in a standalone headset just by streaming it. So, yeah, if they're going to go that route, yay or nay, I'm not sure, but it could be an interesting way to move forward the VR ecosystem.
Hmm. That's true. Streaming would be good. I worry we've got a long way for that to work because I mean, even
Yes.
Stadia, Stadia isn't trying to, you know, render a VR headset, and it still is like one of its biggest flaws is it's got input delay, and latency, while that's like maybe acceptable in a game like Assassin's Creed, that's a total like no-go for VR. Like these controllers, they have to be responsive immediately. It's, I don't know. I think we're a little far away for that technology, but you
Yeah,
know what?
yeah.
I don't want to be a naysayer. So if they can prove me wrong, by all means.
Exactly. Just prove us wrong.
Yes, I'm not going to say it's
See
not
it.
impossible, right? I'm not going to say it is impossible.